If you've spent time in therapy, real time, genuine effort, and you still find yourself in the same patterns, this isn't an indictment of therapy, and it isn't an indictment of you. But it is worth understanding, because a lot of people leave therapy with something genuinely valuable: language, insight, a framework for understanding what happened to them, and still find that the patterns they went in with are more or less the same patterns they came out with. Not because they didn't work hard enough, and not because their therapist failed them, but because insight and change are not the same. And the gap between them is real. So let's talk about what that gap actually is. The first thing to understand is what therapy is designed to do. Most therapeutic models are built around understanding. You explore your history. You identify the beliefs that form there. You develop language for experiences that previously had none. You make connections between what happened then and what happens now. And that is genuinely valuable work. It changes something real. It gives you a map of yourself that you didn't have before. But a map is not the same as the territory. Understanding why you do something doesn't automatically change the doing of it. You can know with complete clarity that your anxious response to silence is a learned pattern from childhood. You can trace it precisely. You can explain it to someone else. And the next time the silence comes, your nervous system responds exactly as it always has. Because your nervous system didn't learn from the conversation. It learned from the experience. And it changes through experience too. Not through understanding alone. The second thing is that insight can sometimes become its own form of avoidance. This is the part that's harder to say, but it's worth naming. When understanding becomes the goal, when the therapeutic work is primarily about getting clearer and clearer on what happened and why, it can create a kind of sophisticated staying still. You're not in denial. You're not avoiding your feelings. You're doing the work. You have the language. You've done the reading. And yet, nothing has shifted relationally. That's not a failure of awareness. It can actually be a sign that awareness has become the thing you do instead of change. A way of feeling like you're moving without actually having to move. Real change requires something beyond understanding. It requires new experience, new relational templates, a different way of responding. Practiced, not just comprehended. The third thing is that change at the pattern level is relational. This is perhaps the most important thing. Attachment patterns don't form in isolation. They form in relationship with the people who are supposed to keep us safe, who taught us what love required, who showed us what to expect from closeness. And they change in relationship too. Not just by understanding the original relationship differently, but by having new relational experiences that offer something different. Experiences where it's safe to express a need, where closeness doesn't come with a cost, where your nervous system gradually learns through lived experience rather than intellectual comprehension that things can be different now. That's a different kind of work than insight. It's slower. It's less comfortable. It requires being in it rather than just thinking about it. But it's the work that actually moves things. Here's what I want you to hear if this resonates. If you've done therapy and you're still here, still in the same patterns, still wondering why the insight isn't translating, you haven't failed. You've done one kind of work well. And you may be ready for a different kind. Not instead of therapy, alongside it, or after it, or as the next layer of it. If you're in that place, if you understand what's happening, and you're ready to start working at the level where things actually shift, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I offer free 30-minute clarity calls for people who are ready to look at this honestly and figure out what the next step actually is. The link is in the description. Deeper understanding, real change.